album. We reviewed it at the old in the room, whatever.
Yeah. I remember that one. I don't remember New York like that.
Okay.
Yeah, I was outside with a tail of two halves.
Yeah, that was when I was like, you're listening to it wrong.
Yeah. And back then, Myke didn't take that kind of shit.
Right.
What the fuck you mean?
That's funny. Somebody I ran into a fan in Walmart. He was saying that like how you just don't argue like you used to or whatever. I was like, he's calmed down a lot.
Blue is one of the most diverse artists that I can think of in the underground. No two albums are really the same with him.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not arguing. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not arguing.
See? This is what he was talking about.
Yeah,
See?
what are you talking about?
I'm not arguing. You're right.
Right.
You know Myke can when he touches heart. Because I do that and he extend his hands out. That means it's coming from the heart because he be like, yeah. But see, you know what? He do this first and then he do this. That means he's like awkward, like, you know, it's my heart. I'm sorry, okay?
Oh my God. We ain't said word one about this fucking album.
Dead End Hip Hop classic album review. You guys voted on it. Patreon exclusive. You guys wanted it. Blue and Exile, Below the Heavens. B. What does motherfucker beat out?
It beat out Helter Skelter, Nocturnal with 7%. Congolinguist, A Piece of Strange, 14%. AZ Do or Die, 18%, which was second place. MOP Warriors, 2%. E40 in a Major Way was 17%. And The Goats, Tricks of the Shade, 1%.
When I saw the year it came out, I was like, damn, 07? Is this like the newest classic that we reviewed that people voted on?
Yeah, so The Cool was out, Lupe Fiasco. Found Forever dropped that year. Graduation dropped. American Gangster.
Shit. I wonder.
Jesus Christ Superstar. The Weatherman.
Oh, I was about to shut that Jesus
Yep.
Christ joint.
Curtis. Soulja Boy Tell 'Em.
That's like 12, 13 years ago.
Eardrum,
12
T.I.
years
versus
ago.
T.I.P. and The Undisputed.
Damn, T.I. versus T.I.P. I was killing that. I was killing
man.
American Gangster.
So this album dropped with all of that other shit
Yeah.
that was out at the time.
See, cause like my intro to Blue was through y'all. Listening to y'all talk about him, I thought like they was out even before that. You know what I'm saying? I thought it was like an older cat. I didn't know that he was only goddamn 21 back in 2007.
Which is crazy.
Which is crazy as shit. You know what I'm saying? So now he's in his 30s, but I thought he was already like, you know, later 20s back then. So to go back to this and to listen to this, my first question was like, how is this classic? Like, this is the first time I'm hearing about this project. But again, I know that Blue and Exile, they're underground. And now that you listed everything that was out in 2007, I definitely know why I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I didn't.
It took a minute for it to kind of move, you know, because.
Didn't.
This was immediate. This was immediate because remember there were tracks leaking before the album even came
I know there
out.
were tracks leaking, but I think for it to get that mass appeal, because remember there were only like a couple of thousand copies released, so that's why it didn't sell as well. Because it went out of press and nobody could get in and hear it, so then it started to leak online, and that's how people started to kind of hear it. But
No, bro, it leaked online first.
the whole thing,
Not the whole thing, but remember by the time the album... Okay, so this is why I know this. I didn't know anything about Blue until I literally ran into Adam walking through Don Bean, walking through Little Five. He had just bought it and was like, yo, have you heard this? And I was like, nah. He was like, you need to go home and listen to this shit. And I was like, okay, cool. I got home. The majority of the album had already leaked online. Like a gang of the songs had already leaked online. And people were tripping out over those songs. This was one of the fastest blowing up underground albums that I could even speak of. By the time I got home, there were already motherfuckers flipping out, being like, yo, this is the best album that's come out in years.
yeah, my experience was different.
But I don't know if you remember, this is the first piece of music you ever gave me. I don't know if you probably don't remember that.
Nope.
But yeah, like, I don't know, we was having a conversation and I think I was asking like what you listened to or something like that. And this was like the first album that you ever told me to go listen to.
That's
And
crazy.
I feel like I still have the CD. I don't know where. I have to
like a
find
burned copy, I guess?
Yeah, it was a burned copy. And I was like, that. So yeah, that was my introduction to Blue. Through you.
Wow.
Yeah, through you.
That's dope.
I remember when we first did that music review on that project, I remember I wasn't that high on it, but I have become a Blue fan. You know what I'm saying? So like the last joint that they just dropped, You know what I'm saying? I listen to that. I'm a Blue fan now, but I never went back. So I didn't even know that this was like kind of the beginning of who Blue became or who he is now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it was just it was cool going back. You know what I'm saying? I always like, not always, but I like going back, especially with people that I enjoy their music. And you know, we always talk about some artists, they need to expand, they need to, you know, try this, try that. Blue's kind of been in a pretty big bubble of his own. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't think he, at least on the projects that I listen to, venture too. Yeah, he does his own thing. Like he don't venture too far out. At least for me, like not on no crazy like experimental type of sound.
Something with that couch, y'all, today.
No, I said he does his own thing.
No. I'm not talking about that.
Oh, okay.
So earlier I disagree with you, and then now I'm disagreeing with you right now. Like, what do you mean? Like, if you go from this to what the albums we reviewed, just from this to New York, to New York, what?
You were like, what the hell?
There's a huge jump.
I don't remember New York like that.
New York was extremely experimental, and then remember he started moving into that lo-fi thing. So he started doing a lot of things over really lo-fi beats. Now, if you compare lo-fi beats to what Exile was doing, it's a huge disparity there.
Out of all the classics that we reviewed, I know you said last time we did, you said I'm always up on it first from the beginning. This was the first classic I wasn't up on the first day it came out. Gotcha. What got me hooked on the Blue was his 2 verses he had on the Roots How I Got Over It. On Radio Days and The Day.
Yeah.
That was the first time since, I would say Big Pun, that I felt that I was more like, Blue was more impressive on the track than Black Thought. Like on both his songs.
When year was that?
2010. So yeah, I was 3 years late.
Was it
You were 3 years late to this?
I was. Yeah.
With these type of, I mean, I know it's the Fast and Fast, but with these type of beats and
That is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was
This
late.
album
I was
I'm
late.
telling y'all,
Yeah,
this
I was
album
late.
was very, very, very underground when it came
Yeah,
out. It was not something that was...
it was.
I mean, I was still listening to underground, but like when I listened to him, I'm like, damn, how did this dude fly under my
I am
radar?
shocked that you missed 3 whole years of this.
Yeah, like when I heard his verse on How I Get Out, I was like, yo, who the fuck is this dude? So of course I went, every time when I typed up Blue, look back, Below the Heavens kept coming up. I was like, okay, let me listen to this. And I was already kind of familiar with Exile. So I was like, okay, cool. I was like, oh, Exile produced the whole thing? Bet. Man, the first track hit. You talk about like, you know, people always talk about like some of the best intro tracks or best first, like, Jesus Christ, like, it's a shame that people do not bring up that shit. The World Is like as like a one of the best kickoff tracks or intro tracks for an album. It's so dope how he just has so much introspective about himself. Like for me that was a good debut, because like just to him to talk about Blue, you know, just who is this Blue guy? Who is this? Especially for me at the time, listening to him, like, yo, who is this Blue dude? As I'm listening to this, and I think he said it on Soul Amazing, like, listen to this and like just the grown perspective he was putting it puts me in the mind of Pete Rock and CL Smooth as far as the marriage that him and Exile have so well together. Like just off that first album, I'm just like, damn.
You know what was crazy? Just kind of going back, is that, do you know who was on this album?
Miguel.
Is that what you're gonna say? Yeah.
Wow.
Yes, he was on Cold Heart and
Just the best song on the album.
And First Things First.
Yeah, I love that song.
First Things First.
And First Things First. Yeah, Miguel, bro, because they're homies, like they're real close friends. And
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. I saw that they went to high school together. So So that if I remember correctly, I know y'all would check it, but either way I go, they're tight. So that's how they ended up working on this album together. Did they repress those, or you got one of the originals?
I got there when Adam. I'm telling y'all, when Adam was, I think this might have been what started our friendship. I was like, this motherfucker has good taste. When he told me like, go check this shit out, I went home. Oh, you know what I gave you? I gave you his burned copy.
Oh, because it was blue, right?
Yeah, because he bought it and then was like, he gave me the burned copy and then I went and bought it and I gave it to you. That's how hip hop used to work.
I know,
back
man. That shit dope.
Yeah, that's how I used to work.
But yeah, I went and bought the CD like maybe 3 days after I talked to Adam, because I was like, this is the best shit I've ever heard. Like, to me still,
Yeah.
this is the closest you can get to a perfect album.
Yes.
There's not a single moment
Yes.
that's wasted
Yes, I
on
agree.
this project.
It's cool when I talk to like younger folks who's like into underground hip hop. Like this is kind of like their Illmatic. Like they compare that to like they compare Below the Heavens to like this is what got me introduced into hip hop. But like this was the album that I was like, holy shit, this shit changed a lot for me as a young teenager or someone that's getting into hip hop in 2007. So I'm like, yeah, that's kind of interesting.
And we had just went to that show and it had like a really like mixed crowd.
On the real, no greater love. People try all the time trying to break us up. We keep it high up in the sky, y'all take it up. Hands up, take it up. Somebody take it up. Bounce, come on, bounce. Bounce, come on, bounce.
I saw him at A3C. I think it was A3C. Shortly after this album came out. This was the year that Little Brother played. It was like a whole bunch of like classic artists played. And I remember seeing Blue then, and it's so funny seeing him now. It's like night and day. But seeing him live play these songs back in those days, it was like, wow, this dude is destined
Special, man.
to be one of the greatest. And it's weird how his
Career.
career trajectory is gone. But back then, I legit thought that Blue was gonna be the next guy. Like he was gonna be it.
Yes.
Just from what you said, the way it starts out, that first beat.
Yes, I was.
Oh my God!
And what he
It's
said, he
just
said
crazy.
a line where like, if you don't book him if you see the BLU,
If you see, yeah, my name is Blue. BLU. If you see the E, drop him.
Just like how E. Then he went to Exile. Like the way he played that word
Yeah,
was
man.
sick. I was like, God damn
dude can rap.
it, Exile on them damn beats, man, on that MPC. Jesus Christ,
They were the
dude.
perfect
Yes,
marriage on this
yes.
album.
And he was DJ all those scratches. Was
Oh,
Exile
yeah, I
too.
know.
Yeah, that shit was crazy,
Yeah,
man.
man.
And at that time, or at least at the time when I heard it in 2010, it was like Jesus Christ, like this was like such a perfect, producer. MC album, you know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, you talk about P Rock CL Smooth, you talk about like Gangstar with Primo and Guru, like this, they are in that realm, and I'm listening to it again. I'm like, man, where would I? And I think when I did my West Coast rank albums, I think I had this listed as like number 5 or 6. I think when I listed
Of
like
all-time favorite.
like my personal all-time favorite West Coast albums, I think this was like my 5th or 6th because it's like just like you said, like as I listen to, I'm like, yo, this dude might be like that guy.
Because he could rap really well. He was amazing at writing songs.
Yeah.
Amazing at like if what's the song about his pops? Cold Hearted. Duh.
Yeah.
If you think about songs like that, even like Blue Collar Worker, where
Yes.
he's just rapping about working really hard, but his girl
Trying to
don't really
yep.
understand.
Yep.
And then
he trying to take her out.
Yeah, trying to take her out. And it's like, oh, it's not good enough. I'm just
Right.
gonna go back to work.
Right.
It was just he had such a unique way of connecting with people immediately. So I just thought that he was gonna be like the next I keep wanting to
I never
call
thought
Kanye,
that.
but you never thought he was gonna move out of the underground?
I never thought that.
Shit.
Yeah,
if
I
he
never
stayed on
thought
this
that.
trajectory, he would have.
He should have.
I think Blue just. I don't really know what it
You
is.
don't know what it is. Yeah.
I don't think he
you
wants
can't-
that. I like I said, I just don't think he wants it.
Yeah, it's weird.
Because he doesn't do interviews, so you really, and I kind of, part of me kind of wishes we would talk to him. Because I did want to go talk to him, but
Me
then
too.
part of me in the back of my head was
Yeah,
like, well,
like,
shit,
yeah.
he might have seen one of our reviews and we weren't favorable about Blue. So part of me was just like, maybe I should just leave him alone.
That's right. Cause we didn't. Yeah, because the ones we did, we didn't particularly like them. Like
Yeah. Yeah. I kind of did want to just talk to him because I'd love to know what's in this dude's
I ain't
head.
gonna lie, I felt like he kept looking over there.
He did! I thought,
So I wasn't alone. I didn't want to say
Yes.
anything. I was like, dang, this nigga keep looking over there.
I thought the same thing.
Okay. I was like, this is getting weird now.
Wow. I wish you'd said something then because
That's
then maybe
crazy.
I'd be like, okay, let's just go holler at him.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was in my head. Because every time I look over there, he looking at me.
And when I saw Exile
Yeah.
walk out, I'm like, oh man.
I didn't see Exile walk
Yeah,
out.
I saw him walk. He was over there too.
Yeah.
I kept seeing
But he
Blue,
follows
and
me.
Blue kept looking over
Yeah,
at
man.
us, and I was
Yep.
like,
Yeah, he knows who we are.
but I didn't know if it was like a fuck those guys type of dealie though.
Right.
Nah.
I didn't get that vibe from him, but
You can
it was
never
just
tell.
kind of almost like a recognition thing. Like I think I recognize. Are they who I think
I
they
thought
are?
that too. That's
Yeah.
funny.
But I didn't have an Adam to hand me this when it dropped, like when it came out. I got on from the internet because the internet was really bubbling and big, and this shit started to pop up on lists. Motherfuckers started talking about it, on sites and shit like that. And this was like perfect, right in my wheelhouse. The beat, soulful beats and production and stuff like that, coming off of Little Brother and Ninth Wonder. Oh, this was perfect. Like this was like the shit that I was listening to and thoroughly enjoyed the sound, the content, everything, man. And I wish I would have had somebody be like, yo, you need to listen to this. And I wish I would have been out of the store so I could have gotten me a copy of it back in the day. So I totally missed out on that.
You wasn't talking to Myke around this time?
Not like
I wasn't talking to
that.
none of y'all motherfuckers back then.
But
I
how-
thought y'all were lame.
So how did look? We were talking and you gave me a CD. So that
You
has
were
to,
just the nice guy in the office. We weren't talking
This was
like that. It was 2007.
yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking to nobody about rap in 2007.
Cause I don't know, were we
Except
even going out to drink around that time? I know I used to go out to
I
drink
never
with them,
did.
but we weren't
Yeah.
talking hip hop then
Yeah,
like that.
no, we just drank and talked shit.
Yeah.
We were talking how much we hated the
Myke and I
job.
didn't really start talking hip hop like that until like the meetings that we would have, and then we would walk over from that building to the other
Yep.
building.
When this album came out, I remember it being almost instantaneous. After I heard it, I got home and it felt like I had been missing out. It was only out for like a month. And I felt like I was missing out. I was like, how the fuck did I miss this? There were so many people that were saying that this was album of the year. It was one of the best albums to come out in the last decade. And I was like, damn, I've been really sleeping on this shit. And when I listened to it, it was like first listen. I was like, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
This guy is incredible.
Yes.
And then it was like after that, I was downloading every mixtape I could find.
Yep.
I still can't remember the mixtape that came out before this.
Yep.
But I was downloading
I was searching
everything I
everything.
could find from this dude.
Yep.
And then that's how I found the Aloe Black and Exile project.
Project,
I
yep.
can't think the name of it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That was
remember
before
that
that.
shit.
Yeah.
That was before
Yeah.
Exile
Yeah.
did this.
Yep.
But yeah, I was grabbing everything I could find from both of these people because I was like, this is something special. And it's just dope that over 10 years later, 12 years later, this is still something special. You
It
talk to
is,
a
man.
rap dude
It is.
about this album, and they're gonna be like, "Bruh, this shit is amazing."
Yes.
Is it a classic or why is it a classic?
Yeah, I think it's a classic. Like I said, it spread word of mouth, right? So, Myke got it like the day of or closer to the day of or the month of that it came out. It was a little bit slow moving for me because I heard about word of mouth because unlike him, I didn't have anybody to talk to about that type of hip hop. Most of the guys I hung around with listened to Jeezy and shit like that. But he was from the West Coast and he did a sound at the time that was, from what I remember, completely different. And you could really look to him and saying like he was the guy that changed the sound or helped change the sound of West Coast hip hop. Him doing that with Exile you could easily draw a line, I think, from Kendrick to Blue.
This is the first time I listened to it, so for me, considering something a classic, I put strong stock into how did it move culture. Like, is this something that as soon as you mention, everybody lights up and shit like that? I didn't know anybody, you know what I'm saying, that put me onto it or anything like that, so I don't know. So it was very questionable to me, but listening to everybody, especially Myke, because his ear was always to the underground. I have to say it is just based off of what he was saying, but for me personally, I can't say that it is. I think it's an amazing project, but again, I don't know how it influenced culture. I don't know how it moves culture.
Told you.
I know. That's why I said I agree it is a classic, but for me personally,
with you.
I know. But yeah, I think it's an amazing project, and I think it's a classic. I wasn't aware that it was a classic.
Yeah, I mean, I would say it was a classic. I can put this album up against any, I guess, golden era album that we consider classics. At least from that was growing up with. I would put this up against any of them, and I think it can go bar for bar with a lot of these albums the other albums that I consider a classic. I guess that's the only thing I can think of because I wasn't just like Feefo said. This is the first classic album that I wasn't on from the beginning, from the get go. Like I said, I heard him from a feature of Roots album, and I just went back and started downloading, listening to everything that this dude was doing. So I mean, yeah, when I listened to Blow the Heavens, that was clearly. At that time, that was out of all of the projects that I listened to up to that point. That was clearly like the album I kept on repeat a lot. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can say this is like when you talk about classic albums today, like I guess in recent years, this is easily a classic album. I think you can definitely put that in that boat.
Is this a classic? And it's funny. I was when we were coming to the studio, I was thinking about that. Is this a classic or is this just another one of those albums that was really dope? because I was listening to what you were saying about it shifting the West Coast, and the first thing that came to mind was Murs, because this is like an extension of Murs.
Good
But
point. Yeah.
Because the project with Murs and Ninth Wonder basically did the same shit that this did. So I agree with you, but on part of me is like, I don't know. So I'm gonna leave that part open ended. I don't know if I would argue about this being a classic versus just being a fucking perfect album.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what it shifted. I don't know. Yeah, I wouldn't argue. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if this was a big influence on Kendrick. I guess I could see that. But again, I could also see that being the situation with Murs. Because I guarantee you Kendrick knows who Murs is. So I don't know. All I know is this is one of the best hip hop albums ever fucking made.
Yep.
This is one of the best rappers that was coming out at the time. This was one of the best producers that was coming out at the time. And this was easily the best marriage of a producer and rapper at the time. And 10 years down the line, a lot of shit is still not touching this. This is an amazing project. And if you've not heard it,
please,
you are fucking up. You're really
just
fucking
like I
up.
did for 3 years.